Oh, hello, Mitch. It's Jon Lovitz here. Yes, buttoning up for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you from Dennis George, your best friend. Well, he tells me you're turning 38 years old. 38's a great age. I was 38 for about a year. Anyway, you might think being 38 is old, and that's because it's the oldest you've ever been. Anyway, he tells me you know how to read minds. What am I thinking right now? I'm thinking you're 38. Easy. And he tells me you know movie talking about using only one word. Oh, I guess it's when you're in a movie and you go, ooh, great, hot. You mean that shit? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, Mitch, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Could you do me a favor? Can you stop sleeping with Dennis's mom, Leah? I mean, come on. He's your best friend. What the hell is that? And you know, whatever religion somebody is, it's their business. I don't care. You're a Buddhist, terrific. But you got a Buddhist tattoo on your dick? The f is that? Got my teeth whitened. Jealous? Anyway, good luck with your podcast. If you want me to plug the name of it, you gotta pay extra. Delightful. Well, anyway, happy birthday. I hope you and Dennis have a good time celebrating it in health. Happy birthday.
And now, a whole new way to watch radio. The Dennis George Show. Here's your host, Dennis George.
Well, we've got a birthday. That was Jon Lovitz, our comedian, who decided to weigh in on Mitch's birthday, which we will discuss at length, his tattoo. At length. Mitch is here. Hi, Mitch.
Hi. I just don't even know. I'm speechless. You win.
Yeah. Well, Sam is here.
Hello, everyone.
Sam is here and Sam is back.
Yes.
Sobered up.
Yep, Debbie is here.
Yeah.
Hey, howdy,
7 days sober.
Yeah, and Denny G is here.
Hey, hello. Happy birthday, Mitch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there you have it. There you are. So so Jon Lovitz, you need to listen to his "Stop Sleeping with My Mom." That's what he has to say, which I think is fake. Debbie, why are you shaking your head? It's fine. It's fine.
You boys.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
Debbie
fine.
said I could. All right.
You got the age wrong, though. Aren't you 40?
Ooh.
Hold on. I'm driving over to your house right now. All right.
Them are fighting words. Them are fighting words.
You can pick on that one.
Right.
Apologize to Mitch times
yeah.
2 now.
Well, yeah. So, hey, did you all know so this week, I think I got out this week more. If I add up the number of times I got out this week compared to over the last, say, 6 months or a year, I think I got out more this 1 week combined total than I did the whole year. I'm not kidding you. I was out. I filled up my gas tank twice. Like, I haven't done that in a year. Like, it's
like you drove to a different town.
Well, I know this because I keep a gas log. So when I'm filling out the gas log at the gas pump, I was like, oh, this is like I haven't I got gas like 3 times last year.
Why do you keep a gas log?
Keep track of mileage, and it also tells me if there's maintenance issues. And then when I do my taxes, I can also claim those expenses.
Oh, there you go. That's a good reason. There,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I took the car into the car place to get the oil change because I was a bit behind on that deal, according to the sticker. Yeah.
How far behind were you on that?
According to the sticker on the windshield, I was supposed to be there December of 2019.
But what was the mileage? Were you over on miles too?
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. You should have done that sooner.
So they came and they showed me the big filter, which was gross looking. But then he said to me, well, look at the pollen filter. And I said, pollen filter? He said, yeah, this is kept, and look at it, it's not even working. It's like all green and gross. And I was like, it's interesting because I'd been getting in my car lately and all of a sudden I'd start heaving, like wheezing. And stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, wheezing, not heezing. It was easy.
It's
Doing
a
both.
combination of
It was young Heezy.
it's hacking and wheezing together. It's
Right,
easy.
Listen, I'm making up my own medical terms. It's fine. It's completely fine. And he says, yeah. He says, the pollen gets in there, and a lot of people don't really realize that. So you got to get that filter changed. I got that filter changed. And
Oh, this was your in-air,
Yeah, this is the cabin filter.
Cabin filter,
not a pollen filter.
Well, he called it the pollen filter, and that's what
because it was stuffed full of pollen, probably. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm going to start calling it. And and so I got that changed. Of course, they found other things. That's just their thing. That's their job.
That's not their. You missed a year's worth of auto tune-ups. Yes, they were going to find things.
It's true. Well, almost a year and a half, because it was supposed to go in December of 19. So my math tells me that's like, a year plus a half. So whatever that is.
18 months. 12 plus 6 is 18 months.
Thank you, Debbie.
Well, it's not quite 6, but anyway.
Whatever, it works.
Mhm.
Well, from December of 19 till now, I'm going with the higher. I'm averaging.
Oh, all right.
So when you went there, were you wheezing inside your car, and after you got it changed, did it go away?
He was heezing.
I was right. I was not. But when I got the car back, it smelled really good. Like it smelled clean.
They sprayed some stink inside?
No, there was no, because I tell them not to do that. But
they farted in your filter.
But it was, ew. So I went out last night. I was celebrating Mitch's birthday. We had a little din-din. And I had the most fantastic martini.
Ooh,
it was so gross.
More.
I had a Kettle One extra dirty with blue cheese olives.
I've heard that.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah.
It was so good. Our server Lizzie was fantastic. Liza was fantastic.
All right. You got her name wrong every time she came to the table.
It's fine. Right? It's fine. She did point that out at one point.
Yeah, after about the 10th different name you gave her, she was like, you give me a different name every time I show up here.
I'm not the best. They all had Y's at the end. I did Lizzie, Izzy, Liza. Well, I guess Liza doesn't have a Y.
You threw a Lida. You threw a Lida in there as well.
I was going to point that out, that Liza does not have a Y at the end, but I figured you might get there on your own. So.
I might have thrown a Y on there anyway, even if it didn't supposed to have one. I'm just saying. Spelling. She was fantastic as well. So it was good fun. I think.
You ever do that drink without being dirty?
No, I think this is the first time I pretty much had a I don't really do martinis at all, so I don't remember that I've ever actually had a martini, to be honest. And no, I don't
straight
think
vodka.
No, I would not do that. I absolutely would not do that. The olive juice made it perfect. Absolutely.
Oh, they made it with olive juice.
Well, whatever the extra dirty is, I don't know wait a minute, what's the extra dirty part?
Olive juice.
I thought so too. Is Denny G's or something else that they put in there for your dirty?
Sometimes they put a little more vermouth in it once in a while.
Yeah, a little extra. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do too much, it's completely different.
Yeah, I don't do anything. Little lime maybe, but blue cheese stuffed olives and vodka. There's a good combo.
That's just taking shots, Denny G. That's just all that is.
You're gonna send me back to the clinic,
right? When I did it my way,
shots with the blue cheese olive chaser. That's what Denny G.
I felt like I'm getting away with not just doing straight vodka when I do that little dirty part.
Kidding yourself.
But I will tell you that I was feeling it. I believe. I don't know, Mitch. Was I a little?
You were trashed.
Okay, all right. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We had a good time. It was good. It was. I think it was good, right? Yeah, it was good.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were kind of behaved.
Yeah, I did behave, didn't I?
Ish.
Yeah, I think I was good. I think I did good.
Debbie, did you behave?
Debbie wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I trust your opinion.
I was worried about inviting her because I needed.
Yeah, she might calm me down a little bit.
She's gonna hold me back.
Add Debbie to the apology list right now.
Wait! I gotta hear why you were worried about inviting me.
I really wasn't. Not really. I'm making up the story now. but she would put the brakes on. I listen. If Debbie was there, Liza would have stayed Liza the whole night. I'm just saying, like, you know, the Liza, Lizzie, Izzy deal.
I'm just very proud that you got it figured out.
Yeah. Well, Mitch helped me along the way, so it's fine. It's fine. It's completely fine. Have you all heard of World Central Kitchen?
Yes.
This organization is absolutely fantastic. Chef Jose Andres, I never pronounce his name right. He runs a global organization called World Central Kitchen, and they provide food and food relief in disaster situations. So hurricane
They do a lot of stuff in Puerto Rico.
A lot of stuff in Puerto Rico, where there are earthquakes. During the pandemic right now, and not just in India, but specifically in Delhi and in places around India, they're making meals. Over 6,000 fresh meals a day are being delivered to healthcare workers and hospitals in India, and all of this is free. So, and during the pandemic, even in the United States, he was delivering food into neighborhoods that were having food insecurity and food problems during the pandemic, and healthcare workers and those sorts of things. In addition to, as Denny G pointed out aptly well, other disaster areas when disasters come up as well, all for free.
It's amazing the mechanism that he got to put all that together. I mean,
He has learned. Well, he really came from a background of logistics. He's a chef too, but logistics, and so he hires people.
Perfect, yeah.
He hires people who understand event logistics, and so when they go into a disaster area, they set it up like a huge event, and they're logistics people, and they combine that with restaurateurs and food suppliers in that area, and he activates those people, and he's really responsible for delivering tens of millions of meals a year across the world. So I encourage you to contribute to him. I do. I've been contributing for a couple of years. World Central Kitchen. You can find them online. You can find them on Facebook, social media, everywhere. And it's absolutely amazing. But I just wanted to shout out to them because they're doing an incredible amount of work in India. I already knew this, but one of our listeners in India wrote us and just sent some photos in, which I had already sort of seen because they were the same photos that were posted on World Central Kitchen's Facebook page a couple days earlier. So I'd already seen it and knew that they were doing that, but it was good to call it out. But it's pretty fantastic what they're doing. So I just want to shout out to them because I know we're a comedy show, but I always want to point out some extra special stuff like that.
We care.
We do care.
Mm-hmm.
We do care for sure. We've got a really fantastic show. Unless any of you want to add anything before we roll into the next segment, Mitch, do you feel any older? You don't really look any older.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't seem like you're older.
No, I don't feel older.
Like you're not cranky or because
I just had coffee. All right, you want to see me cranky? Wait till the morning when I don't have coffee. Well, I mean, you've seen me in the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
You just put the coffee down and run away.
I don't talk to my family until they've had coffee.
Right.
Yeah,
I stay
Smart
away
life
from
choices.
And Debbie, how are you on this fine, wonderful day?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I went to Mexican with Debbie on Friday night, a couple nights ago, and we had a good time doing Mexican. That was a lot of fun. She had soup. Now let me just say one thing.
That's cheating.
Debbie always has the most unique thing. She finds the most obscure thing on the menu. That's not a criticism. It's an observation. There's a difference.
Was it good?
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was amazing. It had broccoli and cauliflower and carrots and some fish and scallops, shrimp, and then baked.
That's just a waste.
What was the broth like? Was it a thin broth or was it something creamy?
It was a thin broth.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, I thought it was delicious. I absolutely loved it.
Nice and spicy or not very spicy?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
good and spicy.
Tequila shots? You do tequila shots while you're there?
No shots were consumed, but we did have margaritas. Yeah.
It's really a waste of Mexican because see, when you go to Mexican, you got to get the taco, or you get the burrito, or you get guacamole. I want soup. It just seems like I don't know. It just doesn't
You
seem.
don't think they
Mexican.
eat soup?
I guess I never thought of it. I guess they do.
I'm
So-
a huevos
so-
rancheros person.
Yeah.
So let me just point out the fact that I'm a big girl and I can have whatever I want, wherever I want, whenever I want.
Yes.
So you do Mexican your way, and I'll do Mexican my way.
You notice that I bring.
I'll just
this
do a
up-
Mexican.
Yeah. you know that I bring this up when I'm at arm's length away from you. I did not dare bring this up when I was sitting next to you at dinner. Just
Well,
so
I
we're clear.
did. I will point out to all of our listeners out there that he was very feisty on Friday at one point, and I had to slap his hand.
That is
Good
Because he
job,
honked
Debbie.
at me.
that's-
Yes, he was honking the horn of my vehicle, which those of listeners out there that know me very well, you
Debbie
don't do
doesn't
that.
honk.
You don't do that. No, I use my horn
Yeah.
when necessary,
He
not when
wasn't-
honking for people outside of their house. That's
He
rude.
wasn't moving fast enough.
That is rude.
That's
and you
kind
don't
of a
do that in
regional
my
thing,
car.
isn't it?
Okay, George. Okay, I will remember that next time. You're not moving.
I'm just kidding.
Gonna buy
I'm gonna
yourself
get
an air
myself
horn.
Air horn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm bringing an air horn next time I'm riding with Debbie. That's a fantastic idea. Just hanging out my passenger window. Denny G, thank you. That's a
Hey,
great.
you're welcome.
I am checking your pockets before you get in
Right.
my car
That's
next
right.
time.
Fine. He won't put them in his pocket, so put it in his prison wallet.
Do I have a prison wallet? What's a prison wallet?
Oh God.
Oh, ew. Oh, we've got a great show for you. Debbie has an amazing top 10 list. Since you all are going back to flying on the airlines, apparently you all need just sort of a refresher course on what you can and cannot do on an airplane.
Which you
So-
should and should not do.
No. It's not can and cannot do.
Yeah.
It is what they wish passengers would either be more cognizant of or not do. That's really what.
And I think there's some lessons there, though, for sure, for people.
But I think there are some obligatory things that people need to do on planes, like crop dust as you're walking through first class.
Oh, my God.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're right. We'll be right back after this message from Audible.
Hey, Malcolm, your podcast on Audible, right?
That's right. And your new audiobook.
I mean, they got everybody on here. Jane Austen, John Cena, sleep stories, meditation. I mean, can you imagine a more fascinating place than Audible?
No, I've done the research.
You've done the research. Of course you have. Is that a piano? I want to play you something.
Can I pet your dog?
I wouldn't.
The most inspiring minds, the most compelling stories, all in one place. Audible.
The Dennis George Show continues after this.
I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm not a doctor, but I trust science. And I'm told that for some reason people trust me. So here I am to say, I trust science and I got the vaccine. If you trust me, you'll get the vaccine. In math, it's called the distributive property. In people, it's called taking care of one another. Get the vaccine. Help make our world a safe place for us to enjoy ourselves again. Please.
The views expressed on Dennis George Show
are not our own or anyone else's.
Listen at your own risk, and we cannot be held responsible for your ears burning, bleeding, or ringing, or the blurred eyesight.
Some things you will not be able to unhear or unsee, and for that,
you are warned.
Do not try anything we suggest or talk about at home, work, or in your car.
A reminder, there are no rules, and our show is intended for a mature audience only.
or at a minimum,
Those over your state's or country's legal age of consent.
Any experiments
Jobs, skills, or sexual positions suggested
and or recommended
are for comedy purposes only and should not be tried without supervision.
or a spotter.
safety word or phrase,
is recommended in advance of trying anything
Any
new.
medical advice
or comments that seem like medical advice,
should be reviewed with your own doctor.
or at least
Check it on Google like we did.
Thank you, and good luck.
And now, back to the Dennis George Show.
I feel like I'm waiting for the noise. I'm waiting for the I was waiting for the I feel like anything Morgan Freeman would tell me to do, I would do. Like, I feel like he would say, "You want McDonald's? You've got to go now." And I feel like I would go. Like, I feel like I would have to follow his instructions. Like Mitch pointed out last week, It's kind of like the voice of God, and I think it kind of is.
Agree.
He's not always played that role though.
No, he hasn't. That's true. He has not. But
You ever see Lucky Number 11?
yes, yeah, that's a great
I
movie.
just was watching that. Actually, I'm watching it right now. I'm in the middle of it again.
A really, really good movie.
Yes, it
I
is.
love it whenever he does
Kansas City Shuffle.
documentaries.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
voice is just so soothing.
Isn't he responsible for the whole penguin deal?
The March of the
What do you mean
Penguins.
responsible for the
The
penguins?
March of the Penguins.
Yes, he
Like
narrated
he's the director.
Yeah, he didn't make a
that.
march.
He narrated it.
Right,
Yeah.
he narrated it. So he's responsible for that debacle. We talked about that a couple podcasts ago, where
What debacle?
they remember where we thought penguins are mating for life and they all followed around each other for life. That's not true. Like, remember
let's
we had a whole
clarify.
conversation about this.
We did not think that penguins mated for life. You thought that penguins mated for life.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm just saying. So
You ever watch all the extras from the March of the Penguins?
no, I've actually never watched it.
Oh, really?
I thought it was in black and white, so I just didn't watch it.
No,
All
no.
right,
you know, I
don't
thought-
even go down that path. Don't go down there. I'm
Yeah,
so
they do. You know, my
apologize.
family said they were going to watch this March of the Penguins. I said, "Are you kidding me?" And so after watching it, I went and looked at all the extras because it was so fascinating. But they show them strapping cameras and stuff on the penguins and
See,
talk. You
that's
know, kind of.
just not does
Animal
not seem
cruelty.
exactly.
No, I wasn't. No,
I don't think
it
that's
was
right.
a good
I'm
movie
with you, Sam.
or
Yeah.
documentary, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you guys not seen any of the wildlife photography with the penguins? Penguins are just very naturally curious little creatures. So when somebody is photographing them and taping them, those little boogers will come over and hang out with whatever's
what you doing?
happening.
Right,
So
right.
they
Where are we going?
and that's yeah. It's fine.
Huh.
They're fine.
Maybe I
They're
should get a
absolutely
penguin as a
fine.
pet. Can I have it as a pet?
No.
I think
No.
your
No.
temperature in your house would be pretty cold.
Oh,
No,
they
the
like it?
temperature in his house is perfect for a penguin. He still just can't have one. All right. He keeps his house at Arctic tundra.
It's
All
fine.
right. It
That's
snows
fair.
in his house.
It's fine. It's fine. I do like it a little colder than normal. It's true.
I have to break through the icicles to get through the front door when I go visit.
Yes.
It's fine. Weird people news. Listen to this. Have you guys ever heard of the popular video game called Among Us?
Nope.
Yeah, I haven't either. Apparently, it's a pretty popular game. So, a McDonald's chicken McNugget. The
Wait,
Bears.
hold on one second.
Yeah.
Do you know what platform it's on? Is it like computer? Is it
Hmm.
PlayStation? Nintendo? Do you know?
I don't know. Oh, Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's an Xbox game.
Go ahead. I was just
Um,
wondering.
A McDonald's chicken McNugget that bears a resemblance to a player character in the popular video game Among Us sold on eBay for just under $100,000. This is a McNugget, the piece of chicken. The auction started at 99 cents.
Can we not call it chicken? Because let's be honest.
That's true.
All right.
Pressed.
Can we just call it a McNugget?
How about pressed parts?
Yeah.
The listing said that the Among Us shaped nugget came from a McDonald's BTS meal. Now, BTS is the combo meal inspired by the K-pop band BTS. You guys don't know what that is, right? You know who BTS is?
Sure, they're pretty good.
Yep. Really, Denny G, do you have their posters? You got their pull-out. You got their
In my
pull-out posters
bedroom.
from Teen Beat. Oh my God. Okay.
Are we adding them to the apology list?
We better. The seller promised the
BTS.
McNugget would be delivered in edible condition. Now, if you pay the total cost $99,997 was the winning bid. If you paid for that, would you eat the McNugget? I'm just not sure.
No.
They said the seller promised the McNugget would be delivered in edible condition. Quote, the food product has an average expiration of about 14 days and will be delivered prior to expiration, the listing.
Does it have to be refrigerated?
I don't know. The eBay post
Probably
caught the
not. It's a big
attention.
nugget.
right. There's nothing that's going to go.
You can leave it in the backseat of your car on a hot
Apologize,
day.
McDonald's. Apologize,
Yeah,
McDonald's.
that's true, Debbie. I'm
Right.
Oh
sorry.
God, how are we adding McDonald's to the apology list?
Now, someone suggested,
us
you know, you can
pressed parts.
comment, right? You can comment on the auction. Someone suggested that it should come with a packet of McDonald's Szechuan sauce. I guess that's a shout out to the BTS group. I have Szechuan, and at buyer's request, I will ship the nugget. Was the response from the seller? It's unclear whether the buyer requested a different sauce. I guess that's important.
You know, for $99,000, I would hand deliver that just to see who was crazy enough to spend $99,000 for a nugget, and I'd bring some extra ones and maybe make some extra cash.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, for $99,000, if you pay me $10,000, I'll go ahead and make you some McNuggets shaped however
Right.
the hell
Yeah.
you want.
We can get molds. We can do this.
Whatever you want.
Cookie cutters, right? Just roll it out, you know.
For sure.
See, but that misses the point of the spontaneous shaping. That's having cut out, formed stuff that just kills the whole spontaneous.
It's now. I saw a documentary on how they make McNuggets, and it's troubling.
So you watched a documentary about how they make chicken McNuggets.
Yes.
But you did not watch March of the Penguins.
Right.
That's true.
Enough said.
Okay. I mean, Debbie, here's my
Fine.
question: is that if we actually do get like the rolling pin and we actually get the cookie cutters, is that like the legal equivalent of printing money?
Yes. If we can get them on eBay and get $100,000 for a pressed cookie McNugget, absolutely.
It's just a weird fluke. I once got a animal cracker that it looked like one cracker was mounting the other cracker animal.
Did you put it on eBay?
I think I have a picture of it on my phone, so I'll try to find it so we can post it to our page.
Well, a lot of people are selling.
No, he didn't put it on eBay.
Okay, a lot of people are selling digital originals. You should sell the digital original photo
Yes, you could do
on
that.
eBay. Yeah. Yeah.
McNugget cryptocurrency.
Exactly. We can start our own cryptocurrency. It's fantastic. In other word, people news, police in Massachusetts said a man who drove his SUV onto a golf course and became stuck on the 6th hole told officers he had been led astray by his GPS app.
Now,
So
I actually believe that because I've been like Dennis, you and I have been driving, and your damn TomTom, or as I like to call it, Dick.
It's true.
All right.
Well,
It's telling
apologize
us
to TomTom.
It's telling us to get up, like make a left onto the highway. There's no on ramp there. There has never been an on ramp there.
Right.
All right. And Dennis is still following the damn thing until it tells him to make the left, and then he misses it, and then he follows TomTom's direction to circle back around. We did that 3 times.
It's true. It's absolutely true. But
you have a TomTom?
Yeah, it's a GPS device you can buy. Like
I know what it is. When's the last time you updated it?
Oh, I don't think I've ever updated it.
Well, no wonder.
Right.
I mean, there was never an on ramp there, Denny. Ever.
Yeah,
it's not like there was one and they tore it down.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into my car the other day and I was driving out to a place I had never been in, Lake St. Louis, and I punched in the location and it's a grassy field. And I'm like, all right, well, that's where we're going. So my GPS took
Here we go.
The GPS took me to the middle of a grassy field. Now, I knew well enough not to drive into the grassy field, which, by the way, was no longer a grassy field. There's lots of houses there now. But it's fine. So, and that was, I didn't update that either. That's 2011, so it's 10 years old. So I guess I should get my maps updated. I'm just saying, but I would not drive.
Use Waze on your phone?
I would not drive onto, well, here's the thing. I would not drive onto a golf course. Here's the thing. So the guy who drove onto the golf course said he was using Waze. Yeah.
That's avoided traffic, didn't
costly.
What?
He avoided traffic. That's what Waze
Yeah.
does. Help you avoid traffic congestion.
That's a good point. Maybe Waze rerouted him to the best place.
He,
It was a
he made a
shortcut.
big wide turn. He might have missed the.
So Waze actually took me
Yeah,
to a
should be
cemetery
paid
once
more attention.
on the way to Debbie's house. And I mean, like, I'm driving through the cemetery and I'm on a road that, like, each side of the road is like, a foot and a half off from the other side. I'm in my Camaro. I'm like, I'm going to rip out the gas tank from the bottom of my car.
Whose
But I
house were
avoided the
you
traffic.
going to?
Yours.
Yes, I know exactly where you were. What in the world did it do? Why did it send you
I
on that
don't
road?
know.
There was no traffic. It was routing him a place that had no traffic.
Quickest route.
Were you doing Waze or were you doing GPS?
Waze.
Okay. I don't know much about Waze, but can you avoid like highways and stuff? Can you put stuff in there to do that?
You can do like avoid tolls and stuff like that. I don't know if you can avoid highways though.
Okay.
No. Other news. This is funny. I sent you all the picture that goes with this story because I wanted you all to see this. And I'm going to hold the picture up. So this is the picture, so you can see. I don't know if you can see it.
We get nothing.
Yeah, you're getting nothing.
Yeah, no,
Right,
we can't
okay.
see it.
You can't.
Just share your
Dang
screen.
It's a regular kitty cat. I'm just going to say it's a picture of a kitty cat.
Okay.
Officials at a Pennsylvania high school said a bobcat that prompted the building to be evacuated when it was spotted inside turned out to be an escaped house cat. West Scranton High School officials said students were sent home Tuesday morning when security cameras captured what appeared to be a bobcat wandering loose inside the building. Animal control officers agreed that the feline appeared to be a bobcat and alerted the state game commission. The animal was captured inside the building, and officials quickly discovered it was not a bobcat, but a domestic cat. I should point out something. It looks like a regular small cat. It's not a bobcat. I don't understand. Who is monitoring these cameras? Debbie, go.
Dennis, first of all, you need to calm down.
All right.
Second of all, that particular breed of cat does look like a bobcat.
Oh,
Here's the
come
thing.
on.
What was the breed of
No,
cat?
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry.
What was the breed of cat?
It's a clouded jack is the name of the breed. And they do their markings are practically exactly the same.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it wasn't a full grown, it wouldn't have been, even if they saw it on the camera, they wouldn't have thought it was an adult full grown.
Yeah.
Regardless, if they think it's a wild animal, they need to evacuate the children. Here's the second thing. They, depending on the clarity of the actual, how high
Camera.
quality the camera is,
Right.
they may not have had a good enough picture to actually realize that it was a domestic cat and not a wild.
You know what it was, Debbie?
So I don't think I want to hear your answer.
I don't think they need to evacuate the children.
you
All right, that's just survival of the fittest. All right, let them go. All right.
Here's what it was. It was
It looked like Bigfoot.
It was a black and white camera. I'm telling you.
He is going to drive to your house. Slap you
I got nothing
so
to do
hard,
after this.
Google won't be able to
I got
find
nothing
you.
to do after this except go beat Dennis to a pulp at this point.
No, you're right though. They probably have old
And-
cameras. They probably have old cameras that don't have, because it's a school and they probably don't have the most high def cameras. And so there's some security guy working overnights. He's a little tired and he glances up and looks at the screen. Oh my God!
It can't, no, Dennis, it can't be at night because they evacuated the kids. I don't know what the kids are doing there at night, but again, if they're there at night, don't evacuate the kids. They broke in.
That's
Let
a fair
them deal with it.
That's a fair point too. Yeah.
I still say we shouldn't evacuate the kids. Let them deal with
Right.
it too. But Debbie
They're
won't
beautiful
agree with
cats. I just want to point out that's a beautiful breed of cat. They are beautiful, beautiful cats.
Yeah, I wasn't dissing on the bobcat cat. It wasn't a cat, house cat. I was just saying, it's a cat.
I love that you're calling it a bobcat now.
The bobcat cat.
Right.
Say cat one more time.
The bobcat's cat.
Hey,
Fine.
Dennis, what was the name of that cat? I want to hear you pronounce the name of that cat.
Clouded Jack cat.
No. The actual name of the cat because they found a microchip. Go to the last paragraph.
Oh. Kakashi.
Yes, you got that one right.
Nice.
That was the name of the kitty cat. He was reunited with the Johnson family Tuesday afternoon because he had a microchip on him that identified who he belonged to. So maybe they were sending him in there for some education. I don't know. I think he was in there
when you get Alzheimer's.
I think he was in there mousing. So, yes, you're right, Denny G. I think people who I should get a microchip. That's not a bad.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, you're right. That's not a bad.
I'm sorry. Was that too soon to agree
No,
with you?
Mitch.
No,
All right.
perfect.
Mitch,
No,
don't
but I
you
don't think
remember?
there was
Wait,
no-
don't you remember, Mitch? We chipped him last year.
Really?
You just gotta turn the app on your phone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh Lord, you all. Okay, Debbie's top 10 list coming up after this. Stick around.
Find us online at DennisGeorgeShow.com.
Hey there, catch us 24/7 on social media. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Good Pods. On Alexa and Google Assist, say play Dennis George Show podcast.
If you have
Birthday boy is gone. Who's going to do the spank?
I am not.
Oh, all right.
It's right there
Have
at the
a
end
question
of
or
the screen.
comment, send us an email at podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com. Or if you're just looking for a date. If we read your question or comment on the show, we'll send you a Dennis George Show t-shirt. That's podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com. Now back to the show.
I'm not doing the spanking this year. I think I did the spanking last year, so someone else has got to gotta buck up to that deal. I'm just
Who's
saying.
spanking who?
It's Mitch's birthday. I think someone's got to.
Oh, you're spanking him for his birthday.
Your mom's already volunteered.
Oh my God.
Who didn't see that coming? Seriously.
It's just awful. I need to show my mom the Jon Lovitz video.
True.
Yes,
I'm terrified for when my mom sees the Jon Lovitz.
Right. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm so excited for that. I can't put it into words.
I can't decide if I'm just gonna let it happen or
I
maybe
think
like
you should just let it
pre-warn
happen.
her. Like
No.
pre-warn her.
No,
Like,
let her stumble into it.
Like, Mom, I don't have a tattoo on my.
No, let her stumble into it. Because I want her to ask the question and I want to see how the question comes out.
I just really wish I could see her face whenever she watches it.
I need somebody there to videotape it, though. All right.
Can't
for the
we get her on
questions.
Zoom and then show it to her while she's on Zoom and record it?
Yes, I think that should be arranged.
That's what we should do. That's the right way to do it.
Guys, I enjoy that I'm still in her will. All right.
As far as you know.
Right.
As far as I know. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Debbie, you've got a top 10 list for us. Hit us.
It's the list of what airline workers say are the top 10 things that people do but should not do.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is just rude, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Saying thanks for finally showing up when a flight is delayed.
Like saying that to the flight attendant?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
that's
impression I'm
rude.
getting from this one. It doesn't
Yeah.
say
And they have any
human
control of
spoken,
that.
but
Yeah.
that's my
That's just rude.
It is just rude. And you have to keep in mind that these folks are not necessarily, they don't have as much time in between flights sometimes.
No time. Yeah, right.
If a flight gets delayed, then they get delayed to the next flight.
Right.
It's a cascading effect. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just rude. So, you know
Right.
what, listeners? If you're doing that, please
Stop it.
That's
Knock it
rude.
off.
That's
Yeah,
just
knock
rude.
it off. I agree.
Yeah. So in this particular write-up underneath that one, it says they often only get 45 minutes to an hour between flights. Well, that's not much cushion time if there's any delays.
Can I
When you
share-
got to go
so-
from gate to gate.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to grab food,
Right.
Yeah.
bathroom,
So I was flying back from Amsterdam, and this actually made the entire flight late. But literally, right as the plane was about to get onto the taxiways, somebody in one of the rows behind us threw up, and instead of making us all go through the flight smelling all that, they actually turned the plane around. All right, took them like 20-25 minutes to bring a steam cleaner in there and clean it up. But I'm entirely thankful that they were. And we got to the gate in DC, and people were pissed that plane was late. Like, it's finally here. I'm like, dude, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know that they do that. Well, I should say this. I have heard that they do that for international flights. Domestic flights are a little bit different just because you're not usually in the air for so long. But yeah,
Right.
there are a lot of things done for international flights versus domestic. So
Yeah, and to Mitch's point, you just don't know what people are going through
Yeah.
prior to showing up.
You
exactly.
don't know the
Just-
circumstances.
Yeah, so just keep your mouth shut. Right.
Just be kind, for goodness sake.
Be
Yeah.
kind.
So number 9, trying to join the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life because you're in the bathroom, for goodness sake, people, and that's just a gross place. Why would you do that in such a gross place?
Right.
Listen, I'm a bigger guy. There's no room in there. I mean, I've been trapped in there, and there is no room for another person to join me in there. I'm just saying.
So I have to. I'm calling out one of my cousins. I don't believe he listens to the podcast, but he's 6'8". Okay, so I just want to put that out there first. The rest of the story will.
Tall
make
guy.
sense. And he worked on submarines due to the nature of his work with the Navy.
Oh no.
He was in the Navy, and a guy who is 6'8" in the Navy on a submarine. This is not a place for a really big guy.
Sounds like
No.
a lot of head trauma.
They would go out
Yeah.
for like 3 months at a time, and the captain would tell everybody, if you see, whatever his rank was, standing here in this spot, because there was only one spot where he could stand up straight in the submarine. The captain told everybody, go around, go a different way, go around. But he was taking a shower and he got stuck in the shower because the doors open inward.
Yep.
He's 6'8". He's not a petite guy, and he got stuck in the shower. It took him a while to
Figure out how to
enable
maneuver that.
himself so that he could get out. Like, oh Lord, have mercy.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Yeah. So anyway,
I was flying once, and I was sitting next to a woman who I did not know, was a stranger, and she asked me if I wanted to go to the bathroom. And I didn't know if that was her trying to offer to go with me, or if she was being polite, like for me to go because she thought I needed to go. But I passed. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, well, here's a question: did she need to go to the bathroom and she wanted to get out?
No, she was on the aisle, and she stood up, and she looked at me and she said, "Do you want to go to the bathroom?" and was smiling. And I said, "No, I'm fine." And then she went down to the bathroom. So I think it was an invitation.
So weird.
You can stay in your seat. You don't have to go to the bathroom.
You do it right there in the seat. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah. I was thinking that, but I was afraid of Debbie. All right. I was like, who needs to go to the bathroom to join the Mile High Club?
Her eyes twitching again. So it's fine.
Number 8. Standing up.
Just go right on by it all.
Fine. It's
Number
fine.
8. Standing up when the seatbelt sign is on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, don't do that.
It really can cause a lot of issues. Air traffic control start yelling at people because they can't move the plane while people are at blah blah. There's a whole lot there.
I really
was
wish
on-
people would just stay seated and then stand up at each row and exit the plane. I hate it whenever like everybody stands up at one time and it's like, we got to get off this plane. It's not going to go any
people would
faster.
stay off their phones until they got off the plane.
I need to. So about standing up, right? I'm 6'3", and like usually at the end of a flight, my restless leg syndrome is kicking in. For some reason, on a flight, like it'll kick in. It's like, yeah, we land and that buzzer turns off and we can unhook our seatbelts. I'm up. I'm sorry, I got to stretch. I'm a big
But are you
guy.
pushing your way? Are you pushing your way up the aisle to try to?
No,
get
I'll
out?
actually get in the aisle to basically like put it as a notice to everyone behind me. Wait your turn.
Yeah.
It would really work really good for people that have to transfer, though, if you remain seated and let those people off.
Well, they tell you, though, when that happens and there's close connections, they'll tell you, please stay seated. We got some people that really need to get off first.
Yeah, but it doesn't really buy you much time. Not really. I mean.
Oh, yeah, it does. If you're in the back of the plane.
Yeah, if you're in the back of the plane.
And you're on a big plane.
Yeah. All right, fine.
All right,
All
number
right.
7 is leaving a ridiculous amount of garbage behind. Again, that's just
rude.
You brought it on.
Yeah,
you
the
take it
whole-
off.
Yeah, I mean, like
The little write-up under this, you guys got to hear this. This little write-up just threw me for a loop because I didn't know what to do with this. It's in quotes, so this is somebody actually telling a story. Last week, I had a grown couple spit huge globs of gum onto the floor and then step on it to try to rub it in.
Who does this?
Right.
What?
Doesn't it stick to your shoe? What the hell?
What are you doing? Right. Exactly.
What?
I mean,
Oi! Had I been on that flight, I totally
would've
would have
rubbed their
been wagging
face
my
in
finger.
it.
I'd have been lecturing those
I mean,
people.
the stewardess, like, first of all, they come by before the flight ends with a trash bag and like, hey,
Right.
dude, all right, and don't demean them by making them like literally go into the seat pockets and pick out your trash. All right, their main job on that flight is not necessarily to pick up the trash after you when you're done, not necessarily to even serve the
that's
serve the
disgusting.
cocktails. Their main job there is to make sure that plane can be evacuated in 30 seconds when it needs to be.
Yeah, it's
All right?
disgusting. If you're gonna put the gum anywhere, put it underneath the tray.
Sure.
So that when
When it's
you
in
put
an
it up
upright
on the
position?
seat,
Then everybody can
it.
see it.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or under the
Why
seat.
this is why we don't travel together.
That way, when you have
On
the flotation device, you have the gum.
Right.
All right, number 6.
Something
Have
to
you
chew
ever
on.
have you ever chewed someone else's gum that was sitting there? Like you peel it off.
Ew,
and
who
Debbie,
are
hit the
you?
button.
Have you
Hit the
done
button,
this?
Debbie. Hit the button.
Depends on the kind.
Yeah, Dennis, I want a button too. All right. Debbie's not quick enough with the button sometimes. I want one too.
Okay.
I was in shock. I apologize. I was in shock.
I
that
understand,
he even
Debbie.
Said that.
All right, fine. No gum.
Number 6 is blaming check-in agents for delayed or canceled.
Yeah,
flights.
that's asinine.
Why? Why would
Right.
you do that? Why?
I mean,
Just,
blaming
I-
anybody that you can get to for a canceled flight. All right. That cancellation did
Yeah.
not come from anybody in the airport.
The
They're
gate,
just
Alright.
so frustrated, but that does not make it okay. I
No.
agree.
yeah, the weather outside is the gate agent's fault, which is hysterical.
Right.
I used to work at an answering service, and I always would let people vent, get it out of their system, and then I would say, I have no control over that, or whatever they were venting. I would have a good response for, but as soon as they start cursing on me, I was like, bloop, hanging up, because I don't get paid enough to listen to you curse me.
There's a viral
Fair.
there's a viral newscast, or a newscast that went viral about 15 years ago, and it was a newscaster and a weathercaster, and they're live on the air, and the newscaster says to the weathercaster, "Man, when are you going to stop with this rain?" And the weathercaster looks at the newscaster, "Kathy, I'll stop the rain when you stop the carjackings."
Not wrong.
That's perfect.
Oh my god. All right. Number 5.
But that personifies for me the whole gate thing, like completely. Like, you're there bitching about what? Like, they have nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Well, it's not completely out of their control, and they have
Right.
to deal with the situation. There is no reason to freak out on those gate agents
Yeah.
when it's like you all said, it's not their fault. They have no control over it. So
Yep.
get over yourself. You're not that important. I'm sorry.
No.
But be nice, for goodness sake. All right, number 5. I can honestly say I've never seen this happen on a plane, and I thank the Lord for that. Changing your baby's dirty diaper on the passenger seat.
I've seen this.
Never seen
I can believe it.
Yep.
I don't. That's just rude.
And
Now,
I
if you have
just
one
didn't
of those-
know. I just didn't know what to say. Like, it was across the aisle from me, and I felt like it was none of my business. But then I'm like, really, that's not really the place to do that. But I don't know where else you would do that.
But I don't know the
They leave the
circumstances.
dirty diaper in the back seat,
in
back of
the
the seat.
pocket.
But we don't know. Again, we don't know the circumstances of this. I mean, what if the kid is crying? It's a turbulent because they've got a dirty diaper. It's a turbulent flight, so the seatbelt sign is not going off. And even if it was off, the mother is probably like, "I'm not going to walk down an aisle with my baby with this turbulence." All right. And so I mean, it's here is everybody's miserable because the kid's screaming.
Yeah, but I
You let them
changed-
scream. If it's turbulent, you don't do it. You don't.
I change my diaper in the lavatory. I don't just
Yeah.
in the seat's a bad place for that.
No excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Dennis, you're dating yourself there, Dennis.
Yeah.
You know that,
True.
right?
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, Mitch, but I really just don't think that that's the appropriate time to take off a baby's diaper while turbulence is going on. I mean, that sounds like it could be a real shitty
You
situation.
poop everywhere.
Just gonna hit the fan.
Oh,
and maybe
my
grandma
Literally.
too.
And if it's a little boy, you can
Right.
have more than just poop
That's
Right.
right.
spraying.
Water
A
fountain.
I'm just
fountain.
saying.
Oh, all right.
Just
Everybody
saying.
gets a golden shower.
Ew.
Number 4.
Ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell.
Number 4. Walking
Ding, ding,
around
ding with the trolley. Sorry.
barefoot
Clang, clang,
on
clang with the
plane.
bell.
Barefoot?
Barefoot on plane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
taking your
That's
shoes off
gross.
on a plane is just disgusting.
I think it's
I-
gross that you
if
have to
you
go
have
through
socks
security
on-
that way, but I mean, I get the reason.
If you have socks on and you take your shoes off, but you're not moving around without your shoes on,
Right.
I'm fine with that.
Totally. Unless your
But
feet stink.
When you're
Or you're
moving around,
stepping in the gum.
You're not moving
well,
around.
that's a whole nother issue right there. Yeah, but because I've seen people take their shoes off, but they have socks
Right.
on and they're
Yeah.
just sitting in their
Mhm.
seat. But if they get up, they put their shoes back on before they move around.
Guilty. I did that
get
whenever I flew overseas because I was trying to get comfortable to sleep,
Mhm.
right? And I don't sleep in shoes, so I felt that was very weird.
Right. Your feet sweat.
What about the
Yeah.
diaper, Sam?
I've
Yeah, I
never changed
do.
My
I
diaper.
doubt he sleeps in diapers either.
I don't ever change my diaper. I've never changed my diaper.
Fair enough.
All right. And I mean, plus, actually, on long flights, you don't want to take your shoes off. All right, because on a long flight, your
This
feet
is
will
true.
swell, and you'll leave the flight with a cankle. All right.
Why
and you
aren't
won't
you
be able to
wearing
get back
compression
into your
socks?
shoe.
I
Yeah.
couldn't get my cowboy boots back on.
Yeah.
Compression socks, long flights, long drives, compression socks, kids.
Nobody told me that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Super.
I now
yeah.
know.
You look
highly
like a
recommend
dork,
it.
but it helps.
Doesn't matter what you look like as long as it
No,
helps.
True.
I
All
don't
right.
care.
So this is me too. I don't care. Number 3. This was one that I didn't really think about, and I don't know that I've ever done it, but it's just something I never thought about before.
Sam does this.
Stacking all the little plastic cups and bowls that come with meals. Now, the reason that you shouldn't do that for them is because everything has to go back into its place the same way it came out. So if everything was in a particular order,
Lot,
in a
yeah.
lot, because they have to put it back in that same way. Stacking doesn't help them, and then they have to touch the stuff with all the food residue.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't think a thing about that, but it makes 100%.
I'm really
sense.
sorry.
Yeah. It makes complete sense because like the galley's set up where like the shells are just only wide enough so that if turbulence happens, things don't go flying everywhere. And so you're right, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. So
I
didn't
am a
know-
stacker.
Yep,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Well-
this one either.
Well,
Sorry,
now you
I
know.
will stop.
It's okay. They understand that you're trying to do it. You know, it comes from a place of attempting to help. They do understand that. But please stop.
Okay, I'm listening.
Number 2, expecting free drinks from flight attendants. So the write-up on this one says, stop expecting free alcohol because you handed me a $3 bag of candy you bought in the airport. I'm a grown man. You didn't make my day by giving me a Hershey's Kiss. Slip me a 20 instead. I'll give you an open bar the rest of the flight.
You know, we did
That's
that. We were
good
on
to
a
know.
yeah, we were on a flight to Vegas, and we started running a tab because there was like 8 of us, and then about halfway
Wait,
through the guy.
Wait. You ran a tab on the airplane?
Yes. Yeah. So we're running a
I
tab
love
on the
your
airplane.
style.
We're running a tab on the airplane. About halfway through, the flight attendant said, "Hey, you need to settle up because your tab's getting pretty big." So we did, and we tipped them at that time. But when we settled up, and we were still drinking, and so the drinks came free after that.
You know what? I need to do the open bar on the airplane. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we're going to drink a lot, so instead of doing every drink like this, we're just because we're buying drinks for everybody, you know. And
Yeah,
my
let's just
God.
open a tab.
yeah,
I apparently need to fly with Denny G to
Right.
Vegas.
Right.
Right? All right. I'm doing that on my trip to Florida coming up. We're just going to open a tab.
That's fantastic.
All right. Number 1, crowding the luggage carousel to get your bags faster. And the
No.
write-up on this, all in quotes, said, did you know that the closer you stand at the baggage claim carousel, the faster your bag arrives?
Right.
It's science. Look it up. Warp speed for the ones that let their kids on the carousel too.
It's true. Like I don't crowd it unless like if I get there first, then I'm just going to naturally stand there, you know, and wait. But then you can feel this natural pressure of people like pushing you forward, and at that point, I'm like, okay, I'll wait.
As
I'll
soon
go
as
to the
that
back.
first bag comes up and you see it,
Yeah.
everybody
Oh.
goes, whoosh.
Right.
and
The
back.
anxiety build.
Calm
did
down,
crowd.
everybody. Calm down.
I did crowd it once because so when I was flying to Amsterdam, my suitcase that I had flying to Amsterdam, it was on its last leg. I mean, zippers were breaking on it, and I'm like, that thing's gonna come flying down the chute. And it did. It flew down the chute, the zipper broke, and it flew open. So yeah, I was there for that. All right. I was like, nope, no one gets to see my unmentionables.
That's there's a reason for that
Yeah.
one though, Mitch. There's a definite reason.
It's like I was one step above like Tommy Boy, where he puts it all in the trash bags and tapes it shut. I'm like, that's gonna be me.
Oh, well, thank
That
you,
was
Debbie.
it. 10 to 1.
Thank you, Debbie, for the list. As you go back to flying, some of you are starting to return to a new normal and flying and traveling
Think
a lot
about
more.
it.
Yeah, think about it. Give it some thought. You know, cut the airline flight attendants a little bit of slack. You know?
And still give people the 6 feet distance. It is actually very nice.
Yeah.
And don't forget to check your Karen. All right, she goes in the under storage compartment with the rest of the baggage. All right, she will meet you at your destination. All right, but check Karen.
Yeah. Coming up after
Unless
the break,
you're a nice Karen.
Right. Coming up after the break, listener questions. I have compiled the top 3 questions that listeners have been asking us over the whole season. So these are the top 3 questions we're going to get to right after this.
Is number 1 what's wrong with us?
Stick around.
The Dennis George Show continues after this.
Check out our YouTube channel. It's a whole new way to watch radio, where you can find each episode of our show. Just search Dennis George Show. Like us and subscribe. See you there.
Hey, this is Mitch from The Dennis George Show. If you have a question, comment, new sexual position, things I should do with Dennis's mom, or looking for a date, or even looking for a date with Dennis's mom, send us an email at podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. If we read your question or comment on the air, we'll send you a t-shirt. That's podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. And now, back to the show.
Well, we're back. So these are Now I'm not gonna do the login deal. Well, I guess we have to, right? So we got a
You
little
said
time
you
here.
compiled it already. Come on.
I did. All right.
Yeah, he
fine.
compiled it and emailed it to himself.
Right. I won't subject you to it. So these are the top 3 questions that we get from viewers and listeners of the podcast. So I thought what we'd do is I would throw out the question and we would go around. And you don't have to answer these. Just want to throw that out there. And you could just, however you want to.
I feel that whole last part was for Debbie with the look she was giving you.
Maybe,
all right?
maybe.
That
Number
whole
one.
last- yeah.
Guaranteed. I guarantee it. I lay money down on that. We might end up having to apologize to me again after this segment.
Oh, I don't think so. So the number one question asked. Now they don't always ask it quite this way. They ask it in a variety of different ways. But of us, who's married, who's not married. So a lot of times I'll get questions about, is so-and-so single or is so-and-so dating? So I've compiled it into the same category of, who's married. So that's just the easiest way to get it. Because I get this question a wide variety of different ways. So this is the easiest way just to categorize the question. I will answer it first. Are you married? My answer is I'm married to my friends. That's how I'll answer that question. So, Debbie?
So you're from Utah.
Right. Apologize to Utah.
Oh yeah,
right?
Martin.
Apologize to Mormons.
Yep, I'm there. Mm-hmm,
Yep. Debbie, did you want to answer that question? Are you
I
married?
am not married.
You're not married. Okay. Anyone else want Mitch? You want to go next?
They put a ring on it.
Okay. Sam's got a ring on. All right.
I like Sam.
That's he didn't really answer the question, but he's got a ring, so you can take that for what it's worth, I guess. Yeah.
They liked it at least.
The ringer or the finger or what?
The ringer?
The ringer.
The ringer.
What's the ringer?
I don't know. I'm doing the mashup of the words again. Mitch, what about you?
Yeah, got a ring.
Okay, got a ring. Denny G?
Yes, don't have a ring.
Don't have a ring. Yes, but don't have a ring. All right.
Mhm.
Maybe you should ask for a ring.
No. They're dangerous.
Okay.
In your line of work?
It was, yes.
The second,
I just, but are you not retired?
Yes.
All
But I
right.
still do a lot of stuff around the shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second question we get most often, which admittedly, I think quite a few of our listeners think we're alcoholics. So this question makes some sense. What is your favorite drink? Now, again, people ask that question in a wide variety of different ways, but I've been able to sort of put it down into one simple question, which is, what is your favorite drink? And again, I'll go first. So I don't know that I have a favorite drink, although I will tell you that the Kettle One with the extra dirty that I got last night was really fantastic. And that stems back to I knew a friend of mine who owned a vodka bar. And early on, this is 10 years ago, he said, you really need to learn the differences in vodkas. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, so he poured 4 different types of vodka into glasses for me. He didn't tell me what they were.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, try these. And I tried each one. And you could really tell the difference between, say, what would be considered a regular rail vodka or something up to Grey Goose all the way up to Kettle One. And you could really tell how vodka can be refined differently.
Yes, you
and,
can.
And it's dramatically different.
Yes.
So when
It's
people
from
say
good to bad.
that's right. So when people say, "Oh, I go to the bar, I drink vodka, I love it," that doesn't necessarily mean that they've experienced really
Good.
vodka, really
Yeah,
good
really
vodka.
smooth vodka.
It'll change your hangover too.
Like
Yeah,
Cristal or yeah.
Yeah, I have
Like
no hangover.
1,000%.
I have no hangover today at all. Nothing. Zero. Like I was like just completely normal. So
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with the martini for now. I think so.
I prefer Big Black Dick.
Okay.
So it is. It
You wanna
is
explain that?
a vanilla rum that you can actually only get in the Caribbean. All right, and it's really good just straight over ice.
Yeah.
It's smooth. It goes well in coffee.
I think it was the liqueur whenever we had it.
Is it-
There's There's
Is it
two
a
different
liqueur?
types. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one that's like a regular rum, and then there's one that's more like of a liqueur that you can like sip on. And the
Gotcha.
liqueur it really is to die for.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Debbie, favorite drink?
Margaritas.
Margarita. Oh, margarita would be up there for me too. Maybe that would be number one. I'm not sure. Debbie and I had margaritas on Friday night. It was fabulous. They were fantastic.
How come you keep throwing me out of this Friday night celebration?
I'm sorry, Mitch was there too. We had margaritas. Mitch had margaritas too. It was fantastic.
I wasn't there.
No, you weren't. You weren't invited. No,
I'm feeling bad.
I'm kidding.
Apologize to Denny.
Don't feel bad. I'm just kidding. No, it was fantastic. Denny G, what about you? What's your favorite drink?
Mine would be just Grey Goose over ice with 3 blue cheese stuffed olive. That's all I need.
Grey Goose over ice.
I was gonna guess that or an Arnold Palmer.
I wanted to
ice
ask
pick.
Debbie a question though.
Yeah.
In your margaritas, now like my wife, she loves margaritas, but she always does call tequila. So she normally gets Don Julio Reposado with it instead of and when you do that, she says, this is what she says, when you do that, they're making a drink for you instead of using a premix. And so they tend to be not as sweet. You don't have as much sugar in them. And by doing a call tequila, it makes for a better drink. So
does.
do you do
I
call
agree
alcohol? You do
wholeheartedly.
call
And
tequila when you do yours, or just rail stuff?
If I'm doing a single one, yes, I will call my tequila. But if I'm doing like a pitcher like we did on Friday night, that's fine too. I can handle that. It's just if I have my druthers, then I want
We used to do it with the
call
pitchers
because,
too.
like she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it with pitchers too.
Yeah, you can. It's more expensive.
Not
that's all.
everybody drinks not everybody drinks their margaritas like I drink my margaritas.
Mhm.
So I usually try not to force that on anybody. So I will
And
do
Denny
it.
G, I've been out with you quite a few times. I would have guessed, if I had to guess for you, I would have guessed an ice pick.
Well, when I don't want when I want to taper things a little bit and not get hammered quickly, I'll do ice picks. Yes.
Yeah. And
With Grey Goose
everyone-
vodka again and lime, but
Tell everyone
unsweetened
what it-
tea because I don't want the sugar. So
So tell
that's
everyone.
when I'm value drinking.
Okay, so tell everyone the exact ingredients on an ice pick.
No, just unsweet tea and vodka.
Okay.
That's simple.
Yeah.
It's a great summertime drink. Oh, it's a great drink anytime. In fact, I'm drinking one right now
All right.
with black cherry tea.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Sam, what about you?
My drink of choice would be a glass of red wine if I was going to be drinking.
Yeah. All right.
What about
That's-
hand grenades though?
And, back to the question, are we
Those are
alcoholics?
good.
I'm sorry, Deb.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when I'm talking to my health provider, I don't tell them how much or
How
filling
much
out the
alcohol
forms.
do you consume?
I lie a little bit.
How often do
Okay,
you
because I
drink
know
in a
Are you
they
pickle?
classify me that way because it doesn't take much. 3 drinks a week and you're an alcoholic. So,
Right.
I'm no
so
quitter.
in the answer to the listener's question, so yeah, we're probably all alcoholics because I think we do more than 3 drinks.
I'm
a
no
week.
quitter, people. I'm no quitter. I'm not an alcoholic because I'm no quitter.
There,
I'm kidding. I really don't. It's funny. I know my alcohol, but I don't necessarily drink that often. That's the
Yeah.
funny thing. I just know
Yeah.
my alcohol.
Like I don't drink every day. I can have a drink yesterday.
Yeah.
so there's a bar down in New Orleans, and they have they're called hand grenades, and those are fantastic. But they will also mess you up pretty quickly. I
Lots of
remember,
sugar in them.
yeah, we were playing a game where they had a breathalyzer test on the wall, and so we were playing the game to see who could get the
Why
highest
not?
score.
Yeah. Well,
When
that's
in New Orleans.
fine.
I don't remember who won.
Yeah. I don't think any of us remember who won.
I do.
Okay.
Dennis won. I
Oh.
remember. Dennis won.
Did he?
Hey, so our final listener question
I thought
again.
that was that was only the first one, wasn't it?
that was the second one. We did
Bring
the
on
married and the
Married
drink.
Oh yeah,
This
married.
is
That was a
The
simple
final one, the third question, most commonly asked. Again, asked a variety of different ways. Favorite travel location. Some people ask vacation spot, place you like to go to, that sort of thing. So, what's your favorite travel location? Mine would be the Caribbean, just in general, the Caribbean. I like going on cruise ships, but I would say the Caribbean, someplace warm. If you look at Sam's, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you look at Sam's background, That's it right there. Like that, Sam could turn around, and that's exactly where I want to be. Yep, that's where I want to be. The palm trees and the ocean back there. That's what I'm looking for. Yep, Debbie.
I don't necessarily have a favorite because I like, it depends on what I'm looking for as to what type of vacation I want to take. Because I'll do, mountains, I'll do oceans, I'll do, pretty much anything. So I just like to travel, and I haven't obviously done a whole lot of it recently.
Yeah. All right. Mitch.
I'm actually so I love going to the Caribbean. I love going to Europe. The one thing I really actually don't like is going. And I know that this is going to sound mean, but I have a Pavloni reaction to this. Is going west of the Mississippi. Partly because when I was like 8, my father decided that a great vacation idea would be to land in Salt Lake City and to drive to Canada, stopping to see attractions along the way. And when you're 8, I mean, it's literally like we'd wake up at 5 in the morning, drive for 6
forced
hours.
march, yeah.
See something for like an hour and a half, then get in the car and drive for 2 to 3 hours to the next hotel. And that was 2-3 weeks vacation of this. And then we were like, So, whenever my family's like, we're thinking about going west this year for vacation, have fun. So, but no, I do love the Caribbean, and I love Europe, Paris, Amsterdam.
Don't you live west of the Mississippi?
I'm not talking.
Okay, just checking.
It's true. Sam, what about you? Travel
I'm okay with anywhere where it is warm. I would prefer to travel when it's warm. I am
cold
okay
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always cold. I'm okay with going like overseas whenever it is cooler. But I definitely would prefer not to be below 60 anywhere. But I'll go anywhere as long as it's above 60.
Yeah. Denny G, what about you?
Yeah, I've been a lot of places. A lot of places I liked, but the place that I have gone to the most frequent has been the Royal Hideaway, which is south of Cancun, and it just so happens that I'm sorry that listeners can't see this, but if you're looking on YouTube, the background that I have here is the Affinity Pool at the Royal Hideaway. It's a small resort.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it was really, when we went there, it was just really food was really awesome. I'm not so sure about now. I just read a review actually a couple of days ago. It wasn't particularly good about the place, but I've been there more than any other vacation place other than a home down in Florida.
So tropical Cancun type place.
Oh yeah, well it's right off. It's a mile. The pier where you come across from Cozumel.
Sure.
It's like 1.1 miles south of that pier. On the beach.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've also have quite a few email inviting us to India. So maybe at some point we should put together because I would go.
Gladly. I would love
go
to
to
go
India.
to India.
I would go to India.
Once we get the pandemic over, I
Do
would
a show there.
I would be so
Yeah, we would do a
ecstatic.
show in India. So we've got quite a few listeners who've written us
For
and
the
said,
food alone.
Come to
Oh.
India. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, Indian food is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's heaven.
It is. So yeah, so we would do India for sure. That's a great show. Sam has our apology, which I don't feel like we have to apologize to anyone. I really don't.
Debbie.
Really?
Oh.
I think
We
you
have to-
offended everybody on the show, Dennis.
No.
We have to apologize to Mitch twice at the very beginning of the show.
It's his birthday. He deserves it.
We have to apologize to Dennis's mom yet again. We got to apologize to Dennis's car because he's been neglecting it forever. We have to apologize to Liza, not Liza Minnelli,
Lizzie.
the waitress. Liza.
I thought it was Lida.
Izzy.
We have to apologize for Debbie for not getting an invite to dinner. We got to apologize to Mexicans.
Oh, and Denny G, we didn't invite him either to Mexico.
We have to apologize for anybody that's in first class while Mitch walks by and farts. Mitch.
Creative crop dusting.
I feel like we should apologize to Morgan Freeman because we made some faces during that.
We did. We did.
Watch us on YouTube. You'll see the faces.
He's gonna come get you.
We have to apologize to March of the Penguins yet again, Dennis.
Fine.
We have to apologize to BTS. We have to apologize to McDonald's. We apologize that we bashed chicken nuggets. It's very shameful.
Just nuggets, not chicken, just nuggets.
Just
All right.
We have to apologize to the TomTom GPS system for Mitch calling it a dick. We also have to apologize to Black and White Films, Dennis. Shameful. We have to apologize to flight attendants.
Yeah.
Mitch's unmentionables. Karens that are nice because now you're getting shoved under the plane. Thanks, Mitch. We have to apologize to Utah, Mormons. We have to apologize to Denny G as well. But we want to give out a special thanks yet again to Chef Andre of World Special Kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
I thought I'd throw in something nice at the end.
It was definitely super nice. Yeah.
Dennis, where can you find us?
Yeah, Debbie, where can you find our show?
Everywhere.
Yeah, once again, if you're listening to us on a podcast, you can find us on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can find us anywhere you can find your popular podcast. Sam, what do you got?
I do believe that we need to give an apology to myself for last week. I believe that I was talked about quite a bit about going to the Betty Ford Clinic.
You were trashed because you were trashed.
We did apologize to you, though.
Oh, well, that's nice.
You made the list.
You were on the list.
You did make the list.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I made the list.
And I want to point out that this week's list, I feel like I didn't contribute as greatly to it as I normally do. I feel like, finally I had some help, and that was good. Yeah. Why do you all look puzzled?
So
Is
you
something
feel
you're proud
that?
of? I don't feel like No.
Live in your own world.
Right? Exactly. It's fine. That's it for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember, write us podcast at DennisGeorgeShow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels for some extra fun along the way. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Yeah,
Be
thanks for listening.
kind.
Join us again next time for another edition of The Dennis George Show. Thanks for watching.
Happy birthday, Mitch.